Well, everyone, I'd like to take a couple of moments. We're going to continue to make some adjustments to a few things with the extraordinary ministers. And the next area that I kind of want to look at is our setup of how we set up the sacred vessels for Holy Mass. What I would like to start is the very first thing is we have our tray that we typically use. And actually, I'm going to not want to use the tray anymore. I find it to be just my own preference, probably primarily, but I also see it as a little bit worrisome for me at times when I see the altar servers carrying it. I feel like it becomes easy to drop the sacred vessels, which have a lot of value to them, and I like to try to preserve them. So I am going to do the setup without the tray, just so you know. So we're going to put this away for now, okay? When we start our setup, what we begin is we can look first at what are called the auxiliary chalices, which are the smaller silver looking chalices. So you open up, obviously you come in, you got there's 4 of them total. We use typically 2 per mass. So you bring out the 2 chalices just like that. Get some of the wine and fill them up about 3/4 of the way or so, maybe about with like a little bit of an inch left in the space of the auxiliary chalices themselves. Once you have them prepared, you can ask the altar servers to go and put them onto what's called the credence table just next to the presider's chair, or if the altar servers aren't here yet, you can do it yourself. Next, you'll use what are called the auxiliary ciborias. Sometimes we just refer to them as the bowls to hold the host. And you take both of these out, and what I like to do is, and you have seen it, that the hosts are down in the drawer, so we grab from the drawer, and typically what I'd like to see is for the masses, we're going to do just 2 rather than 3. And again, that's kind of preference related, but also just a little bit of a sharper feel of things. And that's in regards to just because I like to distribute from the ciboria that's in the tabernacle myself, which makes it a little cleaner as I kind of clean the sacred vessels, purify the sacred vessels after Mass for me. So we're going to just use 2, and for each of the Masses, and you'll see there's different setups. I'd like you to obviously just set it up beforehand. I'm not going to fill it to exactly how I want it right now, but I'm basically looking at 5 o'clock Mass, about 120 total is what I see would be good for now. For the 8:45, about 150, and also the 10:30, 150 as well. So you'd probably put, splitting those in half, enough in each of the 2 auxiliary ciboria that we'll use. So those then, one of those obviously goes to the credence table, so you can have the altar server do that part, and a second one will go to the back of the church per normal. So you've got the 2 auxiliary ciborias there as well. Next we have the water and the wine cruet, and those are down here in this drawer. I sneakily have prepared the water cruet already, so that's there. I didn't prepare the wine cruet, but the wine cruet would also be here. You would fill the wine cruet as per normal all the way to the top, water cruet all the way to the top, and of course the wine would go with one of the ciboria to the back of the church to be brought up with the gifts, and the water will stay up here at the credence table. After the water and wine cruet, then you got the main chalice. The main chalice will depend on the priest that's serving the Mass. For myself, I have my own chalice here, which is in this black box. And so if I'm the one that's the main celebrant, you naturally will use my chalice. So you kind of pull that out, and to set this up, I want to kind of look at this a little bit. So you bring out the chalice, put one down. Then you're going to lay a purificator over the top of the chalice, so. After that, you take what's called the paten. Paten is here. You'll put a medium-sized host, which is down here in this little handy-dandy holder. Should probably come with a more formal name than that, but that's the way it goes. And you place the paten on the chalice so. Then you've got what's called the pall. The pall is the square disc, which is kept up here with the other ones typically. So it's the square disc. It kind of looks like this, right? That'll go right on top. And then finally you have the corporal, which unfolds, or which I unfold for Mass. That'll go right on top of there too. So then you can put the black box back up here again. If I'm not the one that's celebrating, you can use one of the other main chalices that are contained up here for you as well, okay? Now, a new addition that I'd like to start doing is I'd like to start using what's called a chalice veil. Chalice veil has a little bit of dignity and elegance to the liturgy. The chalice veils are kept in the very bottom drawer right here where I'm at. And so this is a white chalice veil. I didn't have the green one today. So we have the white. You would match it with the color that we're using, and if you need to know what that is, you just obviously ask me and I'll help you to know which one it is in case you don't. So to that, you just kind of open it up all the way, kind of lean it across like that, so that the symbol right there is kind of nice and fresh. You can kind of open up like this, try to make it look a little nice and elegant. And then that's all prepared and ready to go. So once that's set, you've got the main chalice, the two ciboria, the two auxiliary chalices, the water cruet, all of these things. Either, if the altar servers have already arrived, you can hand it to them or ask them to take it out to the credence table. And you'll see in the sacristy starting this weekend a picture of what the credence table should look like now that we don't have the tray. But basically that's all the basic setup part that's there. Obviously, everything else is still the same for the time being. Obviously, tabernacle key you got to bring out there and such like that. But I wanted to kind of lay that out just so you could see me do it, see what it looks like. And I hope that this will help us continue with making some of the adjustments we'd like to make. Thanks, guys, and God bless you, and I'll see you soon.